Hey! Hi, hello. Welcome back to our channel. I'm Trisha. I'm Australian with too many books.
What's up? I'm Styles. I like to watch TV.
Yes. And welcome back to the Hoard. We are doing our next video. We've been wanting to make this video for a long time and just like haven't got around to it because we just keep having other ideas and then kind of forgetting. But like we wanted to spend some time and give some love to the K-dramas that are nestled well deep in our hearts. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Just K-dramas. We're going to use our kind of becoming typical format of 3 categories. And the first category we have is, what was the show that got you into K-dramas? Like, what was that one that was like, oh, these are good? You know, so that's category 1. Category 2 is
Favorites.
Yes, which may or may not be different from category 1. And
these are our favorites at this present time.
Oh my god, this disclaimer. Lord.
You just need everybody to know.
It's gonna take me out. And then last but not least, TBW. Like, what are the next shows that we definitely want to watch? Specific, obviously, to the K-drama genre. All right.
Yeah.
Does K-drama count as a genre? I don't know. All right. So category 1.
Or is it a genre or more of a lifestyle?
Depends on who you ask, I guess. Because I mean, can it be a genre if there are genres within the genre?
Subgenres?
It's a genre. We've decided. The book has been closed on that. Like,
meanwhile, everyone who makes Korean TV is like, excuse me.
Right? We are not a monolith. Do not. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just a girl with a laptop and a Netflix account. Okay? I do my best. All right. So, category 1 though.
What got
Styles,
you
go. Yeah. What got you into K-dramas? You go first.
You showed me Extraordinary Attorney Woo. Yeah. I'm sure we've talked about this on the show many a times, but basically
what got them into K-dramas is me. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
No shade to you, Woo. I'm kidding.
So basically there's a woman who's autistic, but also loves being a lawyer. Like, she loves the law. And so the entire show is about her navigating basically being an attorney, for the first time, having coworkers, and so navigating them and like getting them to see her for, the person she is and not just, her autism, while also being able to present cases. That was a big challenge. Like, her boss was like, how can I have her stand up in front of a judge in a courtroom if she can't even introduce herself properly? Her name is a palindrome, and so when she introduces herself, she goes, "My name is Woo Young Woo," which is the same forward and backwards, and then starts listing off words that are also palindromes.
제 이름은 똑바로 읽어도 거꾸로 읽어도 우영우입니다. 기러기 토마토 스위스 인도인 별똥별 우영우. 역삼요?
Oh, and she's also, finding love for the first time. It's so cute. Mm-hmm. But basically, yeah, so just doing a lot
One of our faves is in it.
Yeah, tae-oh. Mm-hmm. And is doing basically what is it? What did I write?
Oh, no.
Okay, it's very fun to watch. Oh, yeah, I don't even like legal dramas, but the cases they showed, I thought they were interesting because they give you a little insight into, because, like, I'm so used to the legal dramas from, this Western and American perspective, but now just seeing how other cultures, like, write and interpret their laws, it also gives you an idea into, like, the culture over there, because there are some cases that have to deal with, like the wedding episode, which is one of the first ones. Yep. And so there was a little bit about, being queer and like the queer identity while also being a chaebol, which is basically like their version of a Nepo baby, and all that stuff. They've got an arranged marriage type culture amongst the chaebols and stuff like that. And there's like money that gets and bride prices and things. I mean, it's not really a bride price in that sense, but it's kind of like that. And so that's where a lot of the legal part is. And then, like, you come to find out, oh, this is actually a queer love story at the end of the day. And that's where, like, the heart of the
that
legal
particular
case
episode was.
That particular case. the cases, they're kind of like, is it called episodic?
Yeah, so they're episodic. It is a little bit formulaic, the way it goes in comparison to something like Pursuit of Jade or Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, where like the plot just kind of like continues to evolve. There are plot lines dealing with the characters that like evolve as you go along the show, but each show is like very specific to a case, and that case is almost always wrapped up in a single episode.
Yeah. And then, Woo, she learns a lot, or Woo Young Woo, she learns a lot.
There's a lot of character growth and evolution.
Yeah. Even, like, not just, like, from herself, but, like, by practicing the cases, she learns a lot about the human experiences outside of herself, too, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I wrote a lot.
I told you to read your notes before we started. Like, you had so much time to do
had homework. Okay,
So,
I've been reading
No,
textbooks.
No, I meant literally just a few minutes ago.
Good day for Styles.
Oh my gosh, that's fair. All right. Well, I actually really love this show too. So I would say this is not the one that first got me into K-dramas, but it was the one that got me into K-dramas. I'll talk about it. In my head, for some reason, does not sit in like the K-drama filing drawer for some reason. This one does. So this was the one that I watched next, where I was like, okay, this is a K-drama. I really enjoy this. This is really nice. And for all of the reasons that Styles said, the main female character is, quite frankly, maybe the most adorable character I've seen on TV. Just in general on TV. It's not even just like her behavior, which is like really sweet and like really cute, along with her quirks, not in spite of, but along with. But also it's like her face is very round. So it's also like, I know that's a very weird thing to say, but she
also
looks,
has like this bowl cut bob.
Yeah, she looks very
cute.
cherubic, like to me. Like she just looks really adorable. Like when I look at her, I just want to like pinch those little cheeks. Because she's so cute.
That's a grown woman.
I know. But still, I can't like
one grown woman saying that about another grown woman.
Look at her cheeks. Like, don't they look pinchable to you? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Anyways, like, and we're talking face cheeks. Like, everybody keep it clean here. And so there's that. The romance plotline is wholesome. Like, that's one of the things. It's just, he just likes her because he likes her. Like, there's nothing else. There's nothing more to it. There's no, like, I don't want to say that every romance has like an ulterior motive or something you want to get out of it or anything like that. Like, this is just a very pure, there's a guy, there's a girl, and the guy likes the girl, and that's it.
They have a meet cute.
That's it. Like,
they start crushing on each other.
Like, he's so charmed by her that it's just adorable.
He just wants to pinch her cheeks.
Yeah. And she doesn't, and she like is like coming into like her adulthood from a romance perspective, so she like kind of has a crush on him, and it's also just very sweet and wholesome, and it's like really pleasant to watch. I feel like this whole show in general is just like extremely pleasant to watch. And like you just have good feelings all the way through, even with like the tense moments with the cases and like some of the like jockeying between her
law
firm. Thank you. Her law firm and like another one. And so there's just like this kind of jockeying for position, which one is the best in Seoul or Korea at large. I don't know. And so like even with all of that kind of happening kind of in the background and like rumbling underneath, the rest of the show is just like, it's pleasant to watch.
It feels good.
Yeah. And like her relationship with her best friend is just like really adorable when they see each other. They have their little like I don't know what they're saying because it's in Korean, but it's just like really cute.
Go to the young school. Don't go to the rummy.
Those are some of the reasons that I really like that show, and I'll go back and like rewatch an episode or two just because like, it's really pleasant and it like makes you feel good.
Your turn.
Okay, so the one like I had to be like as honest as I could about this because again, this like for some reason does not sit in like the K-drama like realm for me, even though it obviously is. But it's Squid Games. Like, it was advertised all over Netflix during right around the end of COVID. I don't know, whatever. I was stuck at home a lot. And Squid Games came out, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. And then I finally was like, fine, I'll watch it. I watched one episode and then was like, Elliot, you have to watch this. That's my husband. Although you have to watch this with me. So we sat down and we started it over and we watched it together, and it was really, really good. But like something about this, like it just went so mainstream that like I can barely categorize it with the rest of them. It just feels like a show I watched one time. Like, but it was like very suspenseful. It's very unique. I'm not gonna like talk about it too much because I mean it was all over the world when it came out, so I'm sure you've seen plenty of videos, like video essays about this TV show. So that could probably do it way better than me.
Have you seen the reality show that's based off of it?
I did not watch that.
I watched the first season.
Was it good?
And yeah, it was really good because they do the same thing where like the competition games are like childhood games or whatever, so anybody can participate, but then there's still like the obviously the reality competition element of people like forming alliances and things like that.
Yeah.
But the games and like the way that they just trip I'm like, this is what Big Brother should have been. You know, like all of those shows, like.
Or rather, that's what it was at the beginning, and it was interesting.
Yeah, and so it's really funny. And when the characters get out, they've got like these chest packs on that will basically explode with paint as if they've been shot, and they have to fall over and play dead.
That would be so dramatic for me. I couldn't do it.
And most of them are good sports, but the ones that are like highly competitive and so pissed off, they just get like popped and they're like, and they just like fall over. Whereas the other ones like really ham it up.
Okay, I might check that out. That sounds interesting.
But yeah, it was good because I don't like reality like competition game shows. Like I'm not a fan. But this one I was able to enjoy it from beginning to end. It was. And yeah, it was good. So,
but yeah, so I really loved Squid Games. I thought it had really good cinematography. I thought it was like edgy. I thought the ending was like very suspenseful, and quite frankly, I was like frustrated that they came out with the second one where like similar concerns to like K-pop Demon Hunters Part 2. Like, are they going to focus group it to death? Like, what exactly are they going to do? Because the other one ended like so ambiguously that it was just like a very deeply satisfying ending to me. Although he really should have got on that plane to see his daughter. But
what are we doing here?
Yeah, but despite that, like it still just felt like a really, really good show.
That's why I like K-dramas, because they're self-contained in one season, and so
usually,
typically, and so it's like you get the full story, you get it for what it's worth, and then after that, I can move on to the next. It's great. I'm not here year after year after year, and then the show runs on too long, like Supernatural or Game of Thrones or any of that, and then they lose the plot, and you're like.
Why
but
are we
now
here?
you're like 10 seasons in, and I'm like, I may as well keep you know what I mean? But with K-dramas, like, no, you get your 8-10 hours or whatever of one season, and then that's it.
Yeah,
you're satisfied. It's basically like reading a book.
I mean, yeah, honestly, or one that's not like a bunch of series long, but yeah, but it's. Like it's a pleasant place to be because you're enjoying the TV show that you're watching, but like it's almost like I've done my time. My sentence is done, and now I'm done with this. But like, if you have 40 freaking seasons, it's just like, when does it end? And at some point, it becomes a bit of a chore. And so, like, I agree. K-dramas do a good job of kind of like not getting you so far down where you feel like, damn it, I have to do this. Where it literally feels like homework or something.
Crack the mold.
Yeah. And so anyway, Squid Games was the one that got me into it, and I actually really love it, but it basically got me into it not in being like, oh, I want to check out more K-dramas. It was more that I watched it, and then because Netflix classifies it as a K-drama, rightfully so, then it started advertising a lot of them. So then
algorithm.
Yep. So
algorithm's hijacked.
So then I saw Extraordinary Attorney Woo. I saw The Glory. I saw just literally a ton of crap, and then I was on maternity leave, so I watched a lot of TV. I read a lot of books too once I came out of like the fourth trimester fog, but while I was deep in that fog, I watched a lot of TV. A lot of it was K-dramas. Awesome. Okay, category 2. Favorites. Top 5. We don't have 5, but like, what are your top favorites? Like the ones that will fall within your top 5. What you got?
I've got The Glory. It's a great revenge story. I think we've talked about this as well, because I feel like we've done a K-drama-esque type episode. But the glory is pretty good. A woman, she's bullied in high school so much so that she has to leave school because they are physically abusing her. Like, this isn't bullying; they are torturing.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm trying to figure out. I've asked other people like if it's really like this because the level of bullying I feel like that I've seen in anime and read in mangas
and the manhwas,
and then this show. This is like you need to be in jail.
You shout like that, they put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing. You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail.
Like,
For
this
a
isn't
long
just
time.
sticking somebody's head in the toilet or shoving them in the closet. Like, they are burning her with
what's
flat irons.
going on? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, and like they're rich and whatever and can get away with it. I mean, the main girl, I mean, it's spoilers at this point, but
yeah,
the main for a long time. Antagonist, female, she like murders a girl and her mom like helps her get away with it. So they're out here doing the absolute most. But anyway, so the FMC, female main character, she basically, she quit school and then spends the rest of her life into her adulthood meticulously plotting her revenge. And so it kind of feels like a, what it was that, the Count of Monte Cristo. It's kind of like, if you're familiar with that story, it's basically like that.
But better.
Which is crazy because the Count of Monte Cristo was great.
Right.
But this one's better. She
takes the cake,
way that she infiltrates their life, like researches them and then infiltrates her way into their lives so that she can bring destruction upon them. But like, from within, so they kind of ruin themselves.
Well, that and what also like I feel like takes her to the top of like revenge seekers for me and everything that I've seen is that she doesn't just do this like covertly. Like she has stuff going on in the background. She has a couple of people helping her that nobody really knows about for the most part. But also starting with like episode 1, if not episode 1, episode 2, she goes up and confronts them and lets them know like, hey, I'm back in your life. And also, I'm about to F shit up. And there is nothing you can do about it. Like, that, to me, was like, okay, she ain't playing around. She was like, I'm here and I want you to know I'm here. And also, there's not a dang thing you can do about it.
And what I like is that they still humanize her. So there are points in the story where, like, her mom, who was the absolute worst, comes back. And that really shakes the main character. I don't even know what her name is. That really like shakes her and like
the main character.
Yeah, the main character.
Yeah,
and I was like genuinely worried.
Moon Dong-un.
Yeah, Moon Dong-un. And I was worried that like not her plans would have been completely thwarted, but like emotionally she wouldn't have been able to recover to continue. Yeah. Because that's how well like the actress showed how much that just her mom's presence like kind of threw her mentally and emotionally threw her back into like her past into her childhood.
They did such a good job with that I took like a 4-week break from the show because I was so worried about what was going to happen that like my anxiety could not handle it. Like I started this TV show before Styles did, introduced it to them. They caught up, surpassed me and finished it because I had to take a month off because I was just like, what is going to happen? Is she going to be okay? Why would her mom do that to her? Like I just was like, I was not okay. Like
it was a very, very exciting show.
Yeah. And that was one of the things I was like trying to explain to some other people about like K-dramas in general that like, and like no shade on like some of our actors in America. Like there are some fantastic actors and actresses in the US that I love what they put out. Like no shade to them. However, when I started watching these K-dramas, like these people, like they put the time, effort, and energy into their craft. And I don't know if it's because they have the acting schools or whatever it is that they do over there before these people really make their debut. But like I personally can feel the emotion on these shows, whatever it is they're doing, anger, crying, sadness, happiness. And I think that's why I return to some of my favorites so often because I want to kind of like feel those emotions again and the richness and depth of them because like that episode there's like one scene in 39 where one of the FMCs like tells her main love interest, they got some drama going on, but she tells him that she has stage 4 cancer and that she's not going to survive. And the way this man's like face like crumbles when he starts crying and the tears and like I like first of all I cried like 5 different times during that show and I'm a very empathetic person, but usually I'll just like tear up a little bit. 39. Usually I'll like tear up a little bit, but like I'm boohoo sobbing, like embarrassing the crap out of myself in an airport on the way back from a bachelorette party because I'm watching it on my my phone and I am like sobbing, like I'm not lying. That actually did happen. Like it was like the level of emotion they're able to bring out is on a different level. I mean, you see that in The Glory and in a bunch of other shows too.
Yep. But The Glory's great. The next one, what?
You can talk about that.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to.
Oh,
my turn is next.
the romance storyline. Yeah, it was great. The man, he's like absolutely obsessed with the MC.
Told you, we love a simp. But he's also unhinged.
He's also unhinged because he's got his own revenge thing going on. And spoilers. I'm definitely like, I don't need a season 2 for any of my K-dramas because they end well. And the way that this one ends, like, you don't need a season 2. You can very much infer from the ending what that would look like. And at the same time, I'm like, give it to me.
Yes. Literally the one where I'm just like, I would really, really appreciate a part 2. Like, because it's his revenge story next. Yeah. And she and her helping him out with his, like, it was just, I don't know, honestly, the way everything came together for his plotline, her plotline, which were completely distinct at the beginning, the way they like meshed them and melded them, and their like the way their romance like evolved, and the way they came to depend on and support each other was
You're
beautiful.
Two broken people that just the puzzle pieces fit together to make this really strong and stable connection between the two of them. I'm kind of worried about once the revenge and plotting is over, what is their relationship going to be after that? Because so much of their relationship is founded upon this revenge.
But you have to think that like they've trauma bonded enough that they'll be able to evolve. I hope. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will go next, and I'm not going to talk about these for very long because I've talked about Crash Landing on You on a number of different videos.
I've talked about all 3 of these.
I do my best, okay? You just had to pick my favorites. These are my favorites. So Crash Landing on You is one of my favorite romance K-dramas of all time. It did not start that way. I like watched it, was like, oh, that was very enjoyable, but then I've rewatched it like 4 times. So how could I not call it like my favorite? I go back to it all the time because it's just, again, when we were talking about that emotionality, that like episode, I think it's like episode 9 or so, or maybe, I don't know, somewhere between 7 and 9, when Yoon Seri gets kidnapped by Ri Jong-hook's dad, and he goes to his dad's house, and he's basically talking about like what his life is going to be like without her if his dad did anything to her, and he's like crying or whatever, and he's like, oh my god, that whole monologue, I was just like, sir.
Nicely done.
I was like, sir, please.
Well
like, good Lord.
You've earned your paycheck.
Right? Like, it was a lot. And I mean, even she like came out from the side, because obviously she wasn't dead, and she was just like, wow, you're so good with words. I've never heard you speak so much.
Right? She's like very taciturn.
Yeah, she didn't know what the hell to say either. She was like, good Lord, like, this man really loves me. Which, like, I love that. I mean, like I said, like, we love a simp. Like, and also, like, that she falls first, but he falls harder is like just a really fun dynamic to watch, personally.
I don't know what that says about us societally and culturally, that men basically doing the bare minimum emotionally is something that we absolutely adore.
Or the fact that like they're not doing the bare minimum of it because women have been treated like dogs for so long throughout history, that we find the one man who like actually understands like the value of his woman, that we're just like, yes, more of this. Like, please.
God.
We've got a problem.
To be a woman.
Yeah, right. So, okay, but that's all I'm going to say about Crash Landing on You. If you haven't seen it, like, you should definitely watch it. It's really, really good.
I think this is definitely, this shows you being, loyal.
I told you, yes!
Because these are the same 3 that you talk about all the time.
Yes!
And mine are like 3 different ones. Like, literally the ones that I've watched the most recently, except for The Glory.
Meanwhile, I love both of those too, so this is great. That actually helped me make my list, because I was like having trouble like not including this one on the list. I was like, oh, but Styles, we'll talk about it, so I'll get to it.
So the one that we're pointing at is When Life Gives You Tangerines. I didn't. I had absolutely no idea what that show was going to be about. Because again, I didn't watch any of the trailers. I refused, and I think I read like the 1 sentence blurb, and I was like, this seems fine. But it's basically an intergenerational story in this one family line of like it's about this one woman who starts as a girl, and we get her mom's story through her perspective, through like the little girl's perspective. And then the little girl, she grows up and we get her story of, falling in love, having kids. And then after that, we start getting her daughter's story.
So it's really about mothers and daughters. Like everything else that goes on is obviously deeply important, but it's really about that relationship.
And it's what I learned the most from that is really like just culturally what it was like, because it's pretty much a slice of life story, going like how the family comes together to support themselves through tragedy, to support themselves through near poverty, to rise above and just really just kind of carve out their space in the world, and all that stuff. So it was really good. I liked learning about the free divers. The women who basically dived to like these great depths with no diving gear whatsoever. They just dive down and they're like collecting clams and shells and things like that. So learned a lot about.
That was cool.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called because they have their own names, but learned a lot about that. That was cool. I like when I watch a lot of historical pieces. I like the ones that do focus on just the everyday people in the lives. So like we were planning a trip to Greece, and Krisha wanted to see like the Parthenon and like all this stuff where like all the scholars
over there.
And I was like, well, cool. Can we also go see like if there's some sort of like architectural site where it shows like the village of people to see how they lived? That would be something that I would be more interested in. I was like, I don't care about where all the rich people lived and what they did. I want to see what like the day-to-day folks. And so this show really kind of gave me a little bit more of that, because like when I'm watching some of the other historical dramas, it's like palace life and all that stuff, and so we're seeing a lot of the nobles, but then this one is like, no, it's just your everyday people doing everyday things and triumphing and celebrating life's joys.
And I will say all of that, and also Park Bong-gum is like so freaking cute.
Oh my goodness.
Look, if I'm going to put in the time, I want somebody on screen who is like good looking. I just do. And Park Bo-gum is cute. He's just like, he also very similar to from Woo Young-woo. It's like, to me, when I look at him, it's like very cherubic. Like, he is adorable. He's not like, in my opinion, like the heartthrob where I think like, ooh, maybe he's super sexy, or like, something like that, like more like with Pursuit of Jade or something like that. Like for him, I just thought he was so adorable and he was so sweet, and also I hate to say it, but like he was like simping hard for his wife. I just love to watch that dynamic. He was so sweet to her, but also she loved him too. Like, I do want to say that too. Like, I don't like it if like the woman or whoever it is like walking all over the person who's like really into them. I don't like that. Like, it definitely needs to be reciprocal, but also I love it when he's like more into the woman because she deserves it. Like, and also I enjoyed watching her on screen because she's like really sweet or whatever, but she's also a crybaby, and like
she's constantly sobbing.
but
it's her strength,
right? There was something about it that like she was a very strong, intelligent character. She was very determined. She knew what she wanted out of life, and also like
she had
in her own way. Yeah, she had big feelings, and in her own way, she wasn't afraid to like ask for help. Like, it took her a while to get there, but, like, once she decided to depend on him and was like, look, we're going to make our life together, like, that relationship dynamic was just really, really good to watch. And, like, in certain ways, like, something to aspire to. Taking care of each other, supporting each other, building each other up. Like, it was really sweet. She used her money to buy him a boat. Like, obviously, they needed that to survive and stuff because he's a fisherman. But also, like, she could have did something else with it. She could have went to college and then supported their family on her own through her own wits, but she wanted to do that for him because she knew that's what he wanted, and like it would be good for their family. And then he in turn made a lot of money and bought her mom's house for her because he knew how important it was to her to finally have a home after all of this stuff, and like for it to be her mom's home where her mom died when she was a child, and like she just loved her mom so much that like forging that connection for her by purchasing that house was something that he really wanted to do for her. Like you could just tell they really loved each other, and it wasn't a lot of like just saying, but it was a lot of doing. Like they backed it up. His family was treating her like trash.
He stood up for her.
Yeah, he stood up for her because she didn't think she could stand up for him because she was coming into their home and she didn't bring anything with her. All from their perspective, she just stole their son, right? And so like he stood up for her. So that was like one of the real strengths of this show. And then like
I was sobbing by the end.
Oh yeah, it was so good
because of just the familial bonds, but also their relationship. Because we see it from literal infancy to all the way to the end.
Yeah, it was really
so
good.
It's you just get attached, and by the time you're done watching the show, like you feel like you have witnessed something great, like you're a part of this family now, and whatnot, and so and it does kind of just make you think.
And just in the vein of what I was saying before,
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
Oh, you're talking about how attractive this man is, too?
Yes. So Kim Soen-ho is also in this show, and I loved him in Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. I just thought he was so cute and adorable. Styles doesn't think he's as cute, but I actually just really adore him. And so anytime I see he's in a new show, it always makes me want to watch it. And they like changed his look so much when he was first introduced to the show that I couldn't even tell it was him. And so I kind of just like wrote him off a little bit. I was like, oh, that character's kind of cute, but like whatever.
Cute.
But
I don't remember.
But okay, well, it happened, but it's okay. As long as you think he's a little cute now, it's fine with me because he is. But then when they like shaved him all up, and I was like, oh my god, it's my god! I was like losing my crap. And so it's a really anyway. So that also endears the show to me because I really enjoy him as an actor as well. But yeah, this one is actually really, really good. Like as far as like it has like a lot of rich. It's just like a very rich, emotionally like show that like you might be crying by the end, like Styles was saying, because it was really, really, really well done. Then the next one that I will talk about is It's Okay to Not Be Okay. And I think I have talked about this in at least another video, if not a few other videos, because again, I'm pretty loyal to my favorites, honestly. These are the ones that I go back to a lot, and this one is a really good one. It's about it kind of basically has like three main characters. So one of them is like the romance, and then the other one is like his brother. So there's a guy who's essentially like a nurse, but he travels around. So like every year he has to move for reasons. I don't want to spoil why, but he and his brother have to move, and his older brother has autism. So he is basically his brother's kind of like caretaker for the most part, but his brother is not like, like incompetent or like an invalid, but he does need help from his community or whatever. So, which is generally his brother and his brother's best friend. And then there is the FMC, and she's a famous author of children's books, but she writes like really dark stories. So like basically children's horror novels that are supposed to have some sort of like allegory or message for the children or whatever. And she's like extremely,
on all of them.
I didn't either, but she's extremely popular. And they come together because of just basically a comedy of errors. Like, I don't even know if you can really call it a meet cute, because he kind of hates her off rip and she is like obsessed with him off rip. So it's like a very interesting dynamic when they first like come together, but she basically becomes like a little bit obsessive about him and kind of like follows him when he moves away. But where they move away to is a place that they both have like deep history and trauma with. Like it's from where they used to live as children. And so that's a really interesting aspect of it. And basically this show, how many times did I say basically? Because Sherry's going to get on to me about that. But in any case, he goes to work at a hospital. She goes back to her childhood home. She was rich to begin with, so it's like this manor, dark, creepy, spooky kind of manor place that's in the same town as the hospital that he goes to work at. And she's basically just trying to get him to love her. Like she's a very weird, demanding kind of person, and so like her social circle is actually really pretty small, and she's okay with that. But she kind of just falls in love with this guy. I think partly because he reminds her of someone from her childhood that I don't want to spoil things. So she's in love with him pretty much, or more obsessed with him, and he is just like, leave me the heck alone. You are
a lot.
Yes. Like, you are too much for me. I have to deal with my brother. I can't also have you on top. I can't have you as well, because she needs someone to also take care of her, because while she is rich and competent, she also is like, she can't cook for herself, or
My mic died.
oh no. Okay. But she can't cook for herself, or she doesn't cook for herself. Like, she just ain't got it together. So he's like, I'm gonna have to take care of you and my brother. That's gonna be a lot. And amongst all of this, there's this like sinister undertone or whatever that has to do with like her mother's death, his mother's death, and like someone who's kind of essentially like preying on their downfall. And like, who is that person? What do they want? And the main characters aren't even fully aware that there's this danger looming. Actually, they kind of figure it out at the end, or not at the end, but like towards the middle or the back half of the show. And so it's just really, really good. Their romantic dynamic, the brothers dynamic together, like we were just talking about with 39, this kind of like loyalty amongst other people that is not romantic in nature. The his protectiveness of his older brother is like really sweet to watch, and then she in turn becomes protective of him as well, because she loves what her love loves. And she starts to love the brother as his own person too, right? It's a really sweet show. I really liked it, but it has some darker undertones. Not as dark as The Glory, but it has some darker undertones that gives it a little bit of mystique. And like not really the cinematography, but like the way the show is directed, like when they do like animations of her storybooks and stuff like that, like you can tell they put a lot of like detail and effort into like the making of the show cinematically, that I thought was really, really good too. So it's one of my favorites, and I rewatch it every now and then because it's a really good one to check out, and I loved it. So that's it for category 2. Category 3 is TBW. So why don't you go first?
The first one I have is Phantom Lawyer. It's a show where this lawyer, he sees ghosts. And I assume that I've only watched the first episode, and I didn't even finish it.
Oh, no.
But I assume by being able to talk to the ghosts, they, can tell him about a little bit about their lives to help him solve their cases. And I picked it because I was like, why not? It showed up on my FYP, and I was like, okay, why not? This looks like it'll be fun. And the first
We're not
episode,
thinking too hard about this show.
And the first episode has been fun. We just got to the last 10 minutes where he has to like actually go to court. And then I got anxious, and so I didn't finish it.
That rarely happens to Styles. I'm the anxious one around here. That rarely happens to them.
Well, I mean, it's the pilot episode, so it has to work out in the end, and I'm assuming most of them do. But I was just like, but what if?
Yeah.
And it's only 10 minutes, so like things can't go incredibly wrong in 10 minutes. But I just wasn't in the headspace to deal with whatever they were gonna throw at me in those 10 minutes. But so far, the first episode is it's been cute. It's been neat. The ghost that has been following him around has been hilarious. So it's actually more of a comedy a little bit, which is pretty fun. Even though people are dead, but it's funny.
And I feel like one thing that we actually haven't talked about with like the K-dramas really is that like a lot of them have like a really rich comedic undertone that like it's not cheesy. It's like genuinely funny.
And even if it is cheesy, it works.
Right. Like they've cracked the code on that, I would say. Okay. Okay, so then the next one on my TBW, if I can ever break out of my C-drama, like this chokehold that the C-dramas have on me, the next one that I really want to watch is Sold Out on You. I am basically hoping that this is a more interesting version of Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha.
Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha was so boring. I didn't even finish it.
Yikes. I will say that one took me the longest to finish. I kept going back and forth. Like I would watch an episode and then wait a month and then watch another episode because it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was boring. Styles is exactly right. But That was my first introduction to Kim Sung-ho, and I could not stop watching him. I just was like, oh, there's nothing going on today, nothing I really, really want to watch. I'll just check this out because he's in it. And I just really like watching him. I just really like watching him on TV. And so, like, I can kind of understand a little bit how, like, I've never been one of those people who get, like, super obsessed about, like, a celebrity or anything like that, and I'm definitely not obsessed, like, in the real literal sense with these people, but like I can understand a little bit because I like will be watching from far. I'm like, why are you so upset? Like, just like take a chill. Yes, I can understand it now a little bit. Like, I get it, but I'm not. Sometimes I think they take it too far. I'm not in that lane, but that's the only reason I finished that show was because of him, because it was boring. It just was. I'm hoping Sold Out on You is like a more interesting and funnier version because it's couched as it's been promoted as a comedy. And so I hope it's funny because, like we just talked about, I find a lot of these K-dramas just really, really funny. Dr. Slump was hilarious. And there are a bunch of other ones that I thought were funny too. And so I'm hoping that this one is too. But basically, it's just about this girl who's, I've never heard of this, but she's a home shopping celebrity. And something happens professionally where she basically has to leave Seoul. She has to leave town. She gets run out of town or something.
I absolutely couldn't imagine just being a regular person and then getting run out of town, like having to leave. Like
it's
I'm a
wild.
home shopping celebrity.
It makes no sense to me. But this seems to be like a recurring trope in like in K-dramas, like a recurring like plot device or whatever. And so she has to leave and she goes to this like small town or whatever, and she falls into contact with this mushroom farmer, and then like shenanigans happen and romance happens. That's what I'm hoping for, and I hope it's going to be really cute.
My second TBW is The Secret Life of My Secretary, where basically this rich dude, I guess he gets into an accident and he gets face blindness. And so he can't recognize people, and then he sees his secretary, who I have to assume he's been treating like crap, because that, tends to happen. I actually didn't really watch the trailer. I just kind of read the one sentence blurb.
You never
and was like,
watched
okay.
the trailers or anything.
But he falls in love with his secretary, thinking that she's like an heiress. And so obviously shenanigans are going to ensue. And I think she's like, when he falls for her, I think she's about to quit. Because she's like fed up with his nonsense and is like in the process of like rage quitting, and he like hugs her and is like, oh my god, I love you, and she's like, what? And so we'll see how that goes. We gotta love a feel good rom-com with a ridiculous premise. I'm here for them all day, every day. Especially the K-drama ones, because the US ones we could never. Our feel-good rom-coms, they kind of tanked after the early 2000s.
Well, and that was actually, I watched a really interesting video essay on that, and that, like, they work really well in K-dramas because, like, the industry invested in them. So they have good writers who actually try hard to, like, come up with unique storylines and unique plot lines. Like, they basically didn't use romance as just like, oh, this fat cash cow, I need to make some money real quick, I need to produce something really fast, so I'm just gonna make this rom-com. Like, no, this is like something that they genuinely invest in because they know that it can make money, so they actually try to do a good job of it. And so that's why they're so freaking good. Like,
meanwhile, we're stuck in Wattpad rom-coms, where, if you don't know what Wattpad is, basically anybody with a computer will write a story. So these are amateur writers who have absolutely no idea what they're doing behind the pen, and they create a god-awful story, but it's readable because we know that these are amateur writers. Okay, this is just some mom, right? Some mom who on her Saturday evening with her glass of wine is just writing this story. And so, but it's god-awful, and then for whatever reason, some publisher turns it into a book somehow, and it somehow sells.
Well, and then that's just the marketing arm that they put behind it. That's the thing. Okay. Is that, like, yeah, the marketing engine for like what they think is going to be like mainstream can get ridiculous, and then it'll like sell very well. I could talk about this all day because we get so much bull crap because of this, and then we miss out on so much great stuff because they're just like, oh, that's not going to sell because you're like a basic person or whatever who can't like think outside your little teeny tiny box of like. Oh, and
so now we somehow got 5 after movies.
Exactly.
And they are atrocious, and whoever wrote them should be drawn and quartered.
Okay, but do your
That was my last one.
okay. Well, let me,
I'm done.
okay, well let me do mine real quick. Okay, so the next one that I really want to watch is and this one probably will be the next K-drama that I watch, because every time I turn on my TV and I turn on Netflix, this pops up and it's like, I don't know why I haven't started it, honestly, because it's so good. But anyways, it's called, or I think it's going to be so good. We Are All Trying Here. And the main reason that I really want to watch this and why I think it's going to be so good is because it has a ridiculously stacked cast. And like, so from what I can see, I mean, it has Go Young Jung, or no, sorry, Koo Young Song, who is the main FMC from Can This Love Be Translated, which I just recently watched, which I thought was really, really cute. I thought it was, it's not like, it didn't make my like top 5 favorites or anything, but I thought it was cute and worth watching. And bonus, it also has Kim Soen-ho in it, which is why I watched it. And I actually ended up really liking the FMC. So she's in it. She's one of the main characters. Then it also has Kyu, how do we say this? Yes, thank you. From Extraordinary Attorney Woo. He was only in one episode, so you might not remember him from that, but he also was one of the main characters in DP. And I really liked that show, and he's a really, really good actor. And then it also,
the way that Kreesh is just able to string these web of actors from like show to show to show, like in my mind, unless they're Kang tae-oh, they really just kind of come in and come out and leave.
Wow. Wow. No, not for me. I love them. I like, but that's funny though, because like, it's the same thing with like books. I can remember the characters' names of the books and the name of the books, and I struggle with the authors. And same thing with like movies. I can do like the names of the characters and the movies. I cannot get the actresses' name. But like with these K-dramas, yeah, for some reason I got them. I don't know how. But
I'm pretty good with movies when it comes to actors.
That's true. That's true. You're better than me for sure, actually. Okay, so then it also has Park Hae-joon from When Life Gives You Tangerines. That's the dad that was in When Life Gives You Tangerines when he got older, so not his young counterpart. And we loved him in that. We just talked about it. And then it also has Jeon Bae-soo, who is the dad in Extraordinary Attorney Woo. And I thought he was cute in that. I'm not really like expecting big, amazing things from him in this show because I thought he was okay in the other one. But it's nice to see him in this one because I'm just like, oh my God, these are all my favorite shows and all these people are showing up. Like, it's great. And then it also has Kang Mal Gum from 39, which is like one of my favorite shows. We already talked about this. And then Old Jung Se from It's Okay to Not Be Okay, which was the autistic brother. He was freaking amazing in that. And so I just like, I know he's going to be good in this. I'm super excited. I actually saw him in another show too, that was also directed by the same person as It's Okay to Not Be Okay. And he was really, really good in that too, and played completely different types of characters. So I feel like his range is really good. So I think this is going to be a really good show. And I think it's going to be one of those like heartfelt dramas that's similar to like 39 and It's Okay to Not Be Okay. I don't think it's going to be particularly funny or have any comedic pieces to it.
Dark comedy.
Damn, take it all back. Take it all back. Okay, so it probably will be a little bit funny. And I will say that the MMC actually was really funny in DP, so I could see him actually being funny in this. And he was actually really funny in Attorney Woo. So I can imagine it actually having some comedic parts. And she was actually really funny in Can This Love Be Translated too, so I could see that. But anyways, I do think it's going to be like more heartfelt and like kind of more dramatic than something like Dr. Slump, for example. And it's basically just about the main MMC. He is part of this group who all went to like cinematography school or whatever to be directors, and they've all had their directorial debut and he hasn't. And so they all feel like he's dragging the group down, just because he comes in and he's like more sarcastic and just like he's trying not to feel useless. And so in certain ways he kind of like undermines their achievements or whatever, but he's waiting for his big break, and somehow he has some sort of like creative block. Like I think it's kind of trying to show that he actually is one of the more talented ones of the group. And I think because he won't like kind of sell out, or just he's so anxious about like putting out something amazing, he kind of has this creative block. And so his life is kind of going nowhere. He's just like a teacher at some like local kind of like art school, basically like teaching cinema to people, cinema therapy, not therapy, cinematic theory to like just people locally, and just like barely scraping by. And he kind of feel like he feels demoralized and everything. And the FMC comes into his life. I don't know what's going on with her, but she kind of comes into his life and like turns it around, and not necessarily through this like forced toxic positivity or anything like that. It's more of just like, I think it's more real than that, basically. So I think it's going to be a fantastic show, and I'm super excited about it. If any of you guys watch any of these things on our TBR or TBW, let us know what you think about it in the comments. Because if you get to it before us, we would love to know if we're right, if these are actually any good, or if we're going to waste our time. Because we don't want to be doing that.
Looking at you, Casey.
But yeah, that's all we've got for this video. So thanks for kicking it with us. We'll see you next time in the Hoard.